everyone. Happy Wednesday. It is so nice to see everybody here. I can't really see who's here, but I hope there's some people here. So my name is Tanya Jarret, and I'm the nutritional therapist over at Firefly. And tonight we are chatting, I should say. I'm not really speaking because you guys are going to interact with me. So we're just chatting about the whole food solution. And what that really means is it's how do you enhance your energy, enhance your immune health, and lose weight with whole foods? So I'm going to preface this with, you can write comments in the box if I ask any questions. So feel free to engage with me. And then at the end, I'm going to go ahead and open it up if you have any further questions. Alrighty. So if you find your box or the comment box, feel free to have that open. So it's December, right? And it is the most wonderful time of the year, just like the song. And I say that because this is the time of the year where we begin to reflect on 2020, and we also begin to plan for 2021. And as a practitioner, I truly believe, and I really truly believe this, that this year has been an awakening for many. And I believe that because the coronavirus wave has caused this worldwide shift for people to pay closer attention to their health and well-being, not only mentally, but physically and socially, emotionally, intellectually. And those who have, talking about that physical component, those who have any pre-existing conditions, some that are lifestyle related, like diabetes or obesity, are currently seeking out programs and support so that they can foster any positive changes, because they know that they are at an increased risk for more serious complications if they would contract any type of illness, not just COVID, but any type of illness. So I think coronavirus has really caused people to pay more attention, and that's a wonderful thing. It really is. In this time, whole foods are shining bright. And sometimes people ask me, okay, yeah, I've always known that, but tell me more about whole foods. And I think we all know that eating whole, fresh, unprocessed foods are the way to go. First of all, they're really high in immune boosting nutrients, really high in antioxidants and energizing nutrients. And our bodies are naturally built to absorb vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. Okay, so there's this natural approach that I like to explain to people that we're meant to absorb those. But when we eat foods that are highly processed, our body's kind of like, oh my gosh, what the heck do I do with this information? I mean, I'm not saying, and I tell every single client I work with and every person that I chat with about nutrition, I am not saying you can't have pizza. I'm not saying you can't have cookies and enjoy holiday food. But the goal to becoming healthier is to focus on eating more fresh whole foods that work for you, because that food is essentially information for our bodies. So what I want to do is I want to take you back. I want to take you back to middle school biology, and I want to introduce you to something called mitochondria. And you're probably like, oh gosh, here we go. There's a biology lesson behind this. But I'm going to keep it really simple. So mitochondria, what they are essentially the tiny factories in our cells that turn the foods we eat into energy. So let's think about the cell, and we have these tiny factories inside of our cells. Everything we eat gets translated into energy. So the little ironic part about mitochondria is that as consumers, we spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on anti-aging products to slow down aging. So think about creams and pills and lotions and any type of aesthetic things. We spend tons of money on that to slow down the aging process. But the key to improving your overall health is to improve your messaging to your cells and your mitochondria. Okay, so by doing that in turn improves your energy and your metabolism. Does that make sense? we naturally age and our mitochondria naturally slow down, but there are things we can do to improve that communication. So we can eat whole, fresh foods, okay? Focus our what we consume within a day. Majority of what we consume should be whole, fresh foods. Eating healthy fats, having movement. It's not saying you need to go to the gym, but moving your body, stretching. We're meant to move. Not overeating, okay? Limiting those processed foods, and also shifting a bit and controlling your stress and being mindful of your toxin exposure. So that means what you drink, the water you drink, what you put on your skin, what is in your house, maybe the candles you burn or the solutions that you clean with. It all matters. So if there's one thing that you can take away from this is that, energy and optimal metabolism and weight loss, it's so complex that every single thing in your environment matters. So there's not one food tonight that I'm going to say that is going to bring you everlasting health, but you can really retrain your taste buds to like certain foods. So is there a specific food that you're like, I cannot stand that food? For some people, it may be asparagus. For others, it's kale or Brussels sprouts or apples, berries. I've heard it all. So if you want to comment in the box about one food that you're like, I think I will never like, I'd love to hear what it is. And I'm not quite so sure I can see the things that are coming up, but I think at the end I might be able to. So what I was saying before is that it is possible to retrain your taste buds. And my goal with anybody that I work with is to help them learn to love fresh foods again. And I think 99.9% of my clients will tell you that is possible because your taste buds change and your sweetness acuity changes as you eat different foods. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about, just so that we can open it up for questioning at the end, I want to leave about 10 minutes for that. So it looks like I'm already about 10 minutes in, but I want to talk a little bit about immune health. So immune health, nutrient levels play an essential role in the strength of your immune health. So just like your mitochondria in your cells, the communication diminishes as you age. Guess what? Your immune system does the same thing. So as you age, your immune system declines. So we have to be even more intentional about eating the right foods to keep it strong. Because, like I said, you have to have the right nutrient levels in your body to strengthen your immune system. I hope that makes sense. And there's also a complete connection between our gut health and our immune health. So I want to say, I believe the statistics about 70 to 75% now. We know about 70 to 75% of your immune health is housed within your gut. So essentially, a healthy gut means that you're probably going to have a very healthy immune system. And in this day and age, I come across a lot of clients who have leaky gut, or they have small intestinal bacteria overgrowth, parasites, constipation. So if your gut's not healthy, you're going to notice that you're sicker often, or maybe sicker longer. And we don't want that. So what we want to do is really support that good bacteria in the gut. And the number one way you can do that is by feeding that bacteria the right material. And what that gut bacteria eats is whole, fresh foods, essentially fiber. So foods that feed your gut are asparagus and garlic and apples and oatmeal, all wonderful foods. They're called prebiotics. I'm sure you've probably heard that term before, but they're called prebiotics. And they are the food for your good bacteria. So you want to make sure that you're eating lots of fiber, and we get fiber from fruits and vegetables. So you can see how this is all kind of connecting back to eating whole, fresh foods. All right, we will move on to weight loss. So weight loss, we all want it, and we all want it fast, especially as we age, because our bodies change dramatically. And fad diets work, they do, but they only work short term. So if you are somebody that follows a specific eating pattern or an eating style or diet, as some people call it, yes, your body will lose weight, but the goal is not to lose weight quickly and then put it back on. The goal is to lose weight and maintain that weight over time. So your body will lose weight and maintain weight only when it's experiencing this balance, this state of balance. And that just simply means that all of your nutritional needs are being met. So when you think about it, weight loss is essentially a side effect, and it's a side effect of balance. So when you have balance and your body is like, yes, I have all of the nutrients that I need, and I'm feeling balanced, and my hormones are balanced, then I'm going to lose weight. So I always tell people, essentially it's a side effect. So we always want to achieve the balance first, and then the magic happens. And the magic is the weight loss. So anybody that has, when I think about fads, I'm curious. So if you're watching this, have you tried any fads? Is there any eating style that you feel very drawn to? Maybe it's Weight Watchers. Maybe it's the South Beach diet. Maybe it's Atkins. Maybe it's keto, paleo. There's so many different eating styles out there. And I think what's most important is that you find what is authentic to you, what feels good to you, but even more important over that, find the eating style that supports balance, okay? And not this yo-yo effect. So anybody that has worked with me, or anybody that has followed me knows that I truly believe in a personalized approach. So let me know, have you ever had a personalized program? Have you ever experienced what it's like to have a personalized program for you? And maybe you're thinking, what does a personalized program mean? Well, a personalized program means that I'm taking your information, and I call that your biochemistry. Okay, so taking your information, and what I do is I take that from lab results, so taking your blood, and I'm able to see, the kidneys and liver aren't functioning properly. Your sodium's down, your iron's down, your white blood cell count might be a little bit off. All right, so I'm taking that information and I'm saying, here are the right whole foods that you need to achieve balance. And then that means that your metabolism is going to stabilize. Your master hormone, insulin, is going to stabilize. And the side effect is losing weight, an enhanced immune system, better skin, sleeping better. It's really awesome. I mean, who doesn't want that? I bet you're like raising your hand. Who does not want that? So I do believe in that personalized approach. And I also believe in not cutting out any macronutrient groups. So not cutting out carbohydrates, especially the non-starchy ones. So your fresh fruits and vegetables, not cutting out healthy fats, because we need fats. The exterior of our cell is a fat. So in order to have cellular integrity, to have that beautiful round shape in your cell, you have to have healthy fats. And lastly, not to cut out high quality proteins, because proteins are the building blocks. So really keeping all three of those macronutrient groups. And in my metabolic balance program, we do use all three macronutrient groups to achieve success. So in nutrition, there's something we call the essential 8. And if you want to grab a piece of paper, you may do so. And I'm going to run through the essential 8 quick, because I think they're so incredibly important. And if you can have these 8 essential foods for health in your, eating style throughout the week, you are on your way to experiencing vitality. You really are. So, all right, grab a pen, piece of paper, grab your phone. You can put this in the notes. Number 1, whole grains. Okay, if you're thinking, but I can't have gluten, that's okay. Because there are some really awesome grains, whole grains, that you can consume that are gluten-free. So things like wild rice, gluten-free oats, that prebiotic fiber that's going to feed your gut. Quinoa, buckwheat. It has wheat in it, but it's gluten-free. So buckwheat. And then I also really like farro. And I also like, other gluten-free items that are grains that we use are kind of like couscous. You can do a whole grain couscous. So if you are gluten-free, there's options. If you're not, you have even more options. Number 2, beans and legumes. These are some of the best high quality proteins you can find out there. So I encourage you to buy dried beans. They are budget friendly. You can make tons of soups and stews and salads. And, there are endless recipes. Thank you, Pinterest, for providing me with wonderful boards full of beans and legumes. So beans and legumes are number 2. Number 3 is berries. So blueberries are hands down one of the best fruits that you can eat. They have high antioxidant content. It's like truly a nutritional bang for your buck. But also raspberries and strawberries and blackberries. So berries are really fantastic. And they're also lower on the glycemic load, so they're not going to cause your blood sugar to spike as high as some of the other fruits like oranges or bananas would. Number 4, so we're on number 4. Other fruits. And some other fruits that I encourage you to eat are things that are lower on the glycemic load, like apples and pears, grapefruit. You can also do mango, but remember quantity. Okay, so if you're doing mango, it's probably 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup. Probably 1/2 cup I would stick to. That's probably more in the reasonable range, but really those low glycemic ones. So pears, apples, grapefruit. Cruciferous vegetables is number 5. So cruciferous vegetables are, think broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. Amazing, really amazing choices. Number 6, leafy greens. We all hear about kale. It's fantastic, but also think spinach and romaine lettuce, endive. Think about arugula. Let's see what other leafy greens. Chard, Swiss chard, really fantastic. I would also even leafy greens / herbs is what I would say. So the more herbs that you can get into your plan. So parsley and cilantro and dill and basil and thyme. Oh, I mean, I get so excited because that's where the flavor comes from. When someone eats a dish and says, wow, this is really good, it's probably because it has a beautiful balance of salt, acid, fat, and salt, acid, fat, and I want to say heat. So there's even that heat component. And herbs really provide this punch to your dishes. And that's what you want. And they also are incredibly beneficial for your immune health, for detoxification. So get those herbs in there. Okay, we are on number 7. So non-starchy vegetables. So this is anything like carrots and radishes, asparagus, green beans, zucchini, all of those vegetables we consider non-starchy. And when we think about starchy, that's when we go to potatoes and sweet potatoes. So those would be our starchier vegetables. And last, number 8 is nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds are nutritional powerhouses. So if you can sprinkle some nuts and seeds onto your dishes, think about, let's see, sunflower seeds. Try to get sprouted sunflower seeds. Watermelon seeds, pumpkin seeds, almonds, walnuts, hemp seeds, things like that. If you could sprinkle those on to your dishes, into your soups, into your salads, even eat them for breakfast with some fresh cut up apple, that's the way to go. So that is the top 8. Okay, I'm going to run through them really quickly again so that you can write them down and double check your list, kind of like Santa does. So whole grains, beans and legumes, berries, other fruits. Those are the low glycemic load fruits like apples and pears. Cruciferous vegetables, leafy greens, non-starchy vegetables, and nuts and seeds. Those are the 8 essential foods for health. Okay. And you're saying, where's the protein? All of those foods have protein in them. But I am also a huge fan of high quality meats. So we're not leaving that out. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to wrap it up, and I'm going to open it up for some questioning. If you are interested in taking a personalized approach to your health so that you can experience optimal health, I encourage you and I invite you to learn more about the Metabolic Balance Program. So you can connect with me. I give free 20-minute consultations. We can talk about, your concerns. I can help you understand the program more in depth. You can also go to my website at tanyajarret.com, and there's loads of information and videos on there about the program. So I do have a group program starting in January. It's starting January 9th. And I also do run individual programs anytime so that they're on an ongoing basis. So if you miss the group program, that is okay. You can also engage with me individually. And this is really the perfect opportunity for you to take care of yourself because, after 2020, you deserve it. You deserve it all the time, but after 2020, you really deserve it even more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up for questioning now. If you have any questions, and I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Hey, Tanya.
Hi, Kara.
Hey, so some questions here.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we choose sprouted seeds over non-sprouted seeds and nuts? And what's the difference?
Okay, so when you sprout a seed, it becomes live. So it becomes a live organism. And what's really cool is that you could sprout things like buckwheat and quinoa and chia seeds. You can sprout a lot of different types of seeds. But when you have a sprouted seed or nut, your body's able to absorb the nutrients from that food better. So that's why I always encourage people. And what's really awesome now is that instead of sprouting these items by yourself, Leg Up Farmers Market or Whole Foods, they sell sprouted seeds already. And it's a brand called Go Raw. So you can find them pretty much anywhere.
Okay, I have that brand. I have the sunflower seeds.
They're amazing. They're amazing. They're activated. They're live. And I would love to let everyone know that if you are eating those sprouted seeds, because they are live, just like sprouted bread, you want to store them in the fridge or the freezer.
Oh, no. I messed that one up.
That's okay. Next time, just throw them in there. Once you open them, throw them in the fridge or the freezer. Remember, they're a live organism. You want to preserve that.
Oh my gosh, they're probably all dead. They've been in there all summer. I just, because sometimes nuts and seeds you can have for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm so glad you shared that. That's really good.
Store them. Store them the right way.
Next question. What is better, wild Maine blueberries or the organic local ones? What is the difference between those? Because do you know the difference?
So I don't really, but I can give you my perspective. So I always try to encourage people to eat local. One, because I want people to support their local infrastructure and their CSAs and their farmers. So I encourage that. And the more local you eat, the more nutrients that food has because it doesn't have to travel a long distance. Whereas if we're getting blueberries from Maine, let's fingers crossed that they're flash frozen or frozen berries because then they are frozen at their peak. So I would encourage if they're frozen, buy them, but otherwise stay local.
That was the next question. Is it frozen or fresh? So
you know what, frozen is just as good as fresh. And for people who are single or if there's just, we have empty nesters that go through my programs and, sometimes they have a lot of food waste. That's when I go and I encourage them. I say, you know what? Buy frozen berries, frozen organic berries, frozen organic vegetables. They have the same nutritional content.
Now, if you're not struggling with weight and you're looking for immune health or energy, does the Metabolic Balance Program also address that? I'm assuming it would.
Yep, absolutely. As soon as you start increasing your intake of fruits and vegetables, your immune system naturally enhances. So one of the true benefits of metabolic balance is enhanced immune health and better sleep. And also, people say, my energy levels have never been better, because you're stripping away all of the processed junk, fueling with whole foods, and your mitochondria and your cells, back to biology, are like, oh, heck yeah. It's a party. Your body's really responding to that goodness.
Is the mitochondrial health thing something that we can hear more as a buzzword moving around in the nutrition community? If anyone does, like they do follow health blogs and stuff, because I feel like that's a trend.
Yeah, you'll hear
more research on it, maybe.
There's a ton of research about mitochondrial health, and if you have access to PubMed, there's a lot of free articles on there, and if you can sift through scientific research, Harvard has some stuff too, so there's a lot of lay information out there, but it's the true push, because we know you are only as healthy as your mitochondria, because that is where your energy comes from.
Yeah, I feel like, 10 years ago, walking around the streets, seeing everyone kind of just not having a lot of energy, and me kind of feeling like, okay, I'm just going to work, doing my thing, like, and completely like a zombie. Yeah. I think that the food thing totally changes it. And we have a lot of comments here.
Cool.
About the foods that they love. Everybody was commenting about, and April, of course, she loves the mitochondria too, so she's in the mitochondria boat. Yeah. So, one last question. If somebody wants to learn more about the metabolic balance program, because maybe if they have like a nutritional allergy or a sensitivity or food sensitivity, or foods they cannot take at all, or does that program address certain specific needs for diet if you already know you have an allergy or something?
Yep, absolutely. I think it's really important to note for anybody that's interested is that this program takes into account your medical history, your medications, your allergies, your intolerances that are already known. And if they are not already known, that's the true advantage of working with a professional, is that you can figure this stuff out and you're not trying to do it on your own. And I did see that there was a comment about somebody trying to lean more towards a Mediterranean diet. What's beautiful about Metabolic Balance is that it is a European-based program, and it's been around for quite some time, and it does have a heavy Mediterranean influence when you look at the foods.
Okay, wonderful. Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Tanya, for joining us. And then if anyone wants to go and visit your website, I know you have actually recipes on there, which is really, really amazing. Guys, check out Tanya's Healthy Holiday Meals recipes on Firefly Hollow, and her video, because that was amazing. Just some really good healthy treats that we did back in November for our open house. But if you guys have any questions at all, I know Tanya would love to talk with you. You guys can do free consultation with her if you needed. So.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you later, everybody.
See you later. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.